So the rest of this chapter, we are going to talk about triangles. And we're going to talk a lot about triangles the next 4 chapters, okay? And lots of different things we can do with them, okay? So this section is basically an introduction to triangles. Now, there are 2 ways that you can name a triangle. One by its sides and one by its angles. By its sides, scalene means there's no sides congruent. Isosceles means there's 2 sides congruent. Equilateral means all 3 sides are congruent. Okay? Angles, if you were to name it by angles, acute means that all 3 angles are acute. Okay? Obtuse means there's one obtuse angle, and right triangle has a right angle. So if I look at this picture, let's look at the sides. Okay, so here's my sides. Okay, so I have 2 sides congruent. Okay, so what that tells me, 2 sides congruent, is it's isosceles. Okay, so that's out, that's out, that's out, isosceles, that's out. So I'm down to 3 choices because I know there's 2 sides congruent. All right, now let's look at the angles. Okay, so I've got 32, 32, and 116. Now, 116 degrees is obtuse. Well, if a triangle has one obtuse angle, it's obtuse. It's an obtuse triangle. So, my answer, it's isosceles, that's naming it by the sides, and obtuse, because it's an obtuse triangle, it has an obtuse angle. So D is the right answer. Okay. Number 2, first we'll look at the sides. Okay, all 3 sides are congruent. So that means it's equilateral. Okay, well, that's D. Okay, because if you look at the angles, all the angles are the same too. Okay, so if all 3 sides are congruent, it's just equilateral. All right, so let's see. Here's my sides. Now, I have no congruent sides. So that means it's scalene. So I'm going to eliminate all the answers that don't have scalene. Okay, so here's my angles, 36, 75, and 69. All 3 angles are less than 90 degrees, which means it's an acute triangle. So it's scalene, acute. There you go. Again, let's look at the sides. So here's my sides. Okay, again, no congruent sides, so it's scalene. So I'm going to eliminate all the scalenes, or the non-scalenes, I should say. Okay, here's my angles, 67, 80, 33. Again, all 3 angles are less than 90. Okay, so that makes it acute. So scalene, acute. All right, so that's all you're going to be really doing in this section is just identifying and naming what the triangles are, what kind of triangles they are.